Well, back with another one. And yes, I am live again. Don't mind that. That's the weed. Oh, hold on. Nobody look at my damn history. Oh, shit. I'm bored, so I went live. Okay, goat it. Goat it. Don't do drugs. Oh, okay. So, this is the video I'm watching. Cause ain't no fucking way. Bro, hold on. Look at how this video start off. This nigga's crashing. He's crashing.
Bitch, you flop with your bitch ass. I ain't never
Bitch, you flop with your bitch ass.
And they better not get it up. Fuck you, old ass bitch. You one of my antique cars. Fuck you. You thought you was gonna count me out too. Nigga, you a hoe. Nah, I quit that shit. Oh my god, I ain't responding to none of them bitch ass niggas no more. Tell them niggas fuck with me. Fuck all them bitch ass niggas. But
Bitch ass. No, I'm joking.
These are already dropping in this beef that the situation between NBAYoungboy and Future has moved so far beyond diss tracks and Instagram rants that people connected to both sides are ending up in the dirt. That this is not rap beef anymore. This is something deadlier. That the threatening language, the diss records, the public call-outs aimed directly at Atlanta, and the chaos surrounding both camps have escalated to a point where real lives are on the line. The streets are talking, and what they are saying is that this feud has already gotten somebody killed. Yo, what's good, fam? Today we are breaking down one of the...
I ain't gonna lie to you. When niggas is crashing out like that, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep my ass out of it. Because let's be real, I'm not getting shot for nobody but my sons. Nobody but my sons. That is crazy though. Bodies already getting dropped. It's only been like 2 days since they started beefing. 2 fucking days.
The most chaotic, unpredictable, and genuinely alarming situations in hip-hop right now. We are going to walk you through exactly how this feud exploded into existence, why the internet reacted the way it did, what Youngboy actually said and did across multiple live streams and social media rants, what that diss track revealed, and what Future's complete silence through all of it might really mean. Because when you lay every piece of this story out side by side, you start to understand why so many people are calling this situation deadly, and why...
Yeah, I ain't got premium. This ad's probably gonna take forever too, cause this connection is trash. No one cares.
And nobody seems to know how it ends. Let's get into it.
Freaking Waha.
To understand why a beef between NBAYoungboy and Future immediately sent shockwaves through hip-hop, you have to understand who these two men actually are within the culture. Because this is not a beef between two mid-level artists competing for the same lane. This is a conflict between two of the most significant and most loyal fan bases in the entire genre. NBAYoungboy, born Kentrell Deshaun Gaulden in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, built one of the most devoted followings in the history of modern rap without the traditional industry machinery behind him. No massive radio push, no major label cosign at the start. Just a relentless volume of music and a raw emotional honesty that connected with millions of fans who felt like Youngboy was speaking directly to them. By the time he hit his mid-20s, he had racked up over 100 entries on the Billboard Hot 100, making him the youngest artist in history to hit that milestone.
Bro, just think. And I know it's a whole bunch of niggas out here going like through the same thing this nigga's going through. if people would take care of their mental, how how different this nigga's path might have been, or might be. And all he gotta do, stop crashing out. Stop crashing out. You already rich, bro. What do you gotta prove to anybody?
His streaming numbers have consistently placed him among the most consumed artists on the planet, and through all the legal trouble, the house arrests, the public meltdowns, and the online controversies, his fan base has never wavered. They are not casual listeners. They are deeply invested in Kentrell as a person, which means every feud he enters immediately becomes a cultural event. Future, born Nevadius Demoon Wilburn in Atlanta, Georgia, represents a different kind of legacy. He did not just make music, he invented a sound. The melodic, auto-tune drenched trap energy that defined the 2010 traces its DNA directly back to his work. Mixtape runs like Dirty Sprite 2 and Beast Mode, albums like DS2 and Evo, and by 2024 back-to-back Billboard 200 #1s with Metro Boomin'. We Don't Trust You and We Still Don't Trust You cemented him as one of the most dominant forces the genre has ever produced. He also built free bands into a legitimate label with real artists and real loyalty, including Doughboy, whose name would become part of this exact story. Future's influence over Atlanta runs so deep that when YoungBoy sent a direct message to the city alongside his diss track, everybody understood what that meant. He was not just talking to Future, he was poking the entire institution. So when these two names ended up in the same sentence as the word beef, the internet stopped everything it was doing. Now here's the thing that makes this feud particularly strange. YoungBoy and Future were not enemies who had been building to this moment for years.
What I still don't know is what they're even beefing over. Like, what is there to beef over? Is somebody gonna get to that point?
They were collaborators. As recently as 2020, the two had worked together, with YoungBoy appearing on Future's album High Off Life on the track Trillionaire. Before that, the two had connected on YoungBoy's earlier record, Right or Wrong. There was no public falling out that fans could point to. No documented incident, no diss records going back years. By all outward appearances, these two were simply artists who had been in the same orbit and moved on, the way 1,000 collaborations in hip-hop eventually fade into the background. But YoungBoy had clearly been carrying something, and by February 2026, the first real signal of that buried tension finally surfaced publicly. YoungBoy took to X and posted a confident challenge that read something like a general declaration of war against the entire industry. He wrote that whoever his fans thought was the best rapper alive should get ready for a song-for-song battle. Loser never raps again. When a fan in the comments specifically brought up Future as someone who might be able to hang with him in that kind of showdown, YoungBoy's response was brief and pointed. He said something to the effect of, "You smoke more dope than me." It was dismissive in the specific way that only lands when there is something real underneath it. Fans noticed. They filed it away, but at the time it still registered as a relatively minor moment in the ongoing catalog of YoungBoy's social media activity. That changed dramatically in the first week of July 2026. Future had been building toward the release of The Real Me, his 10th solo studio album, and his first solo full-length since I Never Liked You dropped back in 2022.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44. A complete AI creation platform.
He had been teasing the project since June, telling fans on X that he had the album of the century coming. The anticipation was real. Future dropping a solo album with no guest features, 22 tracks, all Pluto, no assists, was already generating significant conversation. And then the night before the album dropped, YoungBoy logged onto his Instagram story and turned the entire internet upside down. On the night of July 9th, 2026, YoungBoy posted a video rant in which he told the world in the most colorful language possible that a certain rapper releasing music that night better not flop. He did not name Future directly, but the timing left nobody guessing. The entire culture immediately understood who he was talking about, and what made it more alarming than a typical rap provocation was the energy behind it. YoungBoy was not talking the way artists talk when they are being playful with a rival. He sounded genuinely agitated, like something had been sitting inside him for a long time, and this album drop was the match that lit it. The internet immediately went into full analytical mode. Clip
Sitting outside the front door, and I didn't see her, and she didn't see me go in either. So I was standing at the counter, like maybe they're in the bathroom or whatever. I stood there for like almost 10 minutes, and then I just put my stuff back in the cooler, and I was gonna walk out because I'm like, it feels awkward being in the store and no one seeing me in here this long.
Yeah.
And then when I go to walk out, she's like, "Oh, you were in there? How long you been in here?" I was like, "Oh, like 4 or 5 minutes." And then I was like, I didn't want to be in here too long without anybody showing up. I thought you were in the bathroom, but then I was just gonna leave, to be honest. Bro, they had a lockup, basically, a lockup type thing on this. It was like a little plastic thing that covered the end of the bag where you couldn't slide it off. It had like a keyhole on it, so you had to come open it.
So they're in there stealing them charges.
This shit was $18, bro. 10-foot C-type to C-type. It feels like one of the actual like 30 rope ones though.
Also real loud.
It's like those threaded bracelet type thing.
Also real loud.
It was weird though.
That's crazy.
She didn't see me go in the store, and I'm just walking around in there looking out the window and everything. I was hoping somebody else would walk in there.
I was not. Yeah, I honestly would have just walked
Bro,
out.
it's like the middle of the day. I'm in a gas station by myself for like 10 minutes straight. With like 8 cars outside. Nobody's coming in though.
I dropped some damn raisins in my chair.
Bro, look at the size difference.
What the?
This is the gas station C-type. It's way smaller. It's just not even the same
Damn.
size.
Shouldn't that tell us it's gonna be cheaper?
I mean, they were charging 20 for it and it had it locked up, so I had a little bit of faith for some reason, even though the gas station I shouldn't have.
I couldn't stop myself. Had to go live. This is crazy.
It says it's 100 watts though. It's just probably gonna fry my battery. Since they make my vape charge fast as fuck, but then die instantly.
It's gonna burn
Were
out.
being shared across TikTok within minutes. X was flooded with reaction threads. YouTube reaction channels were going live. Every comment section on every hip-hop platform turned into a debate about what YoungBoy was actually referencing, whether Future would respond, and whether this was entertainment or something more serious. But then something unexpected happened. Offset stepped in. During an Instagram live session, Offset, the former Migos member and one of Atlanta's most respected figures, appeared to have gotten YoungBoy on the phone at a moment when the Baton Rouge rapper was clearly in his feelings. Offset did what older brothers in the culture do. He talked to YoungBoy straight, told him to focus on his family, on his business, on the bigger picture, and in a moment that genuinely surprised people who know YoungBoy's public reputation, Kentrell actually listened. He acknowledged that he had been letting his emotions get the better of him. He admitted on that live stream that he had been crashing out. He said he had let something petty get under his skin, and he apologized to Offset for putting him in the position and to Future directly. He said it clearly, "I apologize. I flashed out." For a brief moment, the culture breathed. And then, within hours, YoungBoy was back on Instagram with Future's name tagged directly in the post. He called him a, quote, bitch-ass nigga. He accused Future of flopping. He said Future used to try to buy things from his antique closet.
Damn.
A specific reference.
Just when you think everything was getting better, he went back and was like, "You like bitch, you flopped." Oh, it's fucked up.
That nobody could fully decode, but that clearly meant something to YoungBoy on a personal level. He said Future was old. He said he was not going to let him slide. And just when people thought that was the final word, YoungBoy vowed to stop responding to what he called bitch-ass niggas, suggested he was done, and then dropped the diss track. What landed on the internet on July 11th, 2026, strategically timed in the middle of Jay-Z's historic show at Yankee Stadium, which had the entire culture's attention focused somewhere else entirely. Whether that timing was calculated or simply a product of YoungBoy's impulse-first approach to releasing music is debatable. What was not debatable was what was on.
Apparently you can go from 0 to a complete site in just a single prompt with Wix Harmony. I don't know if this is going to be possible. Or vibe coding meets
on the record. YoungBoy came with fire on that track. He did not ease into it or leave anything open to interpretation. He went straight at Pluto's reputation, his status, his credibility in the streets. Among the bars drawing the most immediate reaction online were lines where YoungBoy told Future to his face that he would catch him bad and stretch him, and references to having younger artists around him who would handle problems for free. That kind of language, in a rap context but delivered with the heat YoungBoy brings to everything he touches, sent the internet into a completely different level of conversation. This was no longer fans debating who had the better discography. This had shifted into something that people were watching much more carefully, and then YoungBoy extended the war beyond just Future. After dropping the diss track, he left a comment on a post featuring Doughboy, one of Future's free band signees, that was as direct as anything he had posted all week. He told Doughboy to keep talking with his hoe ass. Doughboy did not back down. He took to his own Instagram story and said publicly that if YoungBoy wanted to bump, they could bump. That specific word, bump, carries weight in street culture that transcends a social media exchange. When Doughboy said that, fans who had been watching this situation from a distance as a rap beef started asking more serious questions about what the real stakes were. That is the moment when the internet narrative shifted from beef to something the algorithms could not get enough of. The framing changed. Every TikTok, every YouTube breakdown, every podcast discussion started using the same language. The word deadly started appearing everywhere. Hip-hop blog headlines asked whether the situation had escalated beyond music. Reaction channels dissected every lyric in what looking for specifics about what YoungBoy was really communicating. The viral machine had locked onto this story and it was not letting go. To understand why this beef hit differently than a typical rap provocation, you have to go back further than July 2026. You have to go back to November 2020, to a parking lot in Atlanta, and to a name.
I don't even know if anybody's in the lob. Oh shit. There was a couple people in here. Actually looks pretty good. Damn, that's crazy. What you up to, even in town, fool? Oh shit. That's Hunter. No, I'm not in town, bro. I'm not in town. When I work,
the echo.
Yep.
That's because the mic is picking up the video.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen until I figure this out fully. So you're just gonna have to fucking deal with it, Hunter.
Yeah, you gotta use headphones or mute your mic until you want to talk or some shit like that.
Pretty much. Oh shit, that's, yeah. You know what? I could mute the mic. I need to do that. I might need to do that. Hunter, I apologize. You're right.
You can mute when the video is playing and then like unmute it whenever you go to pause or say some shit. But if you're trying to react as you go, headphones is better, so you can like just say some shit while it's playing out.
Yeah. Yep. Well. But no, I'm not in town, bro. When I work, I go on like the road. So I'm in Nashville. Can't tell you what part. I'm just here.
That still carries enormous weight on both sides of this situation. King Von. King Von was Lil Durk's closest friend and one of the most promising young rappers in the country when he was shot and killed outside an Atlanta hookah lounge following a confrontation between his crew and associates of Quando Rondo. Quando Rondo was, and remains, closely affiliated with NBAyoungboY.
What's crazy
that
is
connection,
every time he beef with somebody, this come up.
Who, YoungBoy?
No, yeah.
Why you bringing it up?
Yeah, like every time he beef with somebody, to like tell his story, a YouTuber will straight up like,
Dirk, right? Around the same time.
Yep. They'll mention Dirk. They'll mention his beef with Dirk and all of that. This is why I don't think I'd be comfortable going big with rapping. I'm not
I
picking
wouldn't
sides.
respond. I'll never mention somebody in my song ever, especially I don't like them.
Yeah.
If I like them, I gotta really like them to mention them.
Yep. It's because I don't, bro. I'm not. Yeah, like nobody's pressuring me into picking sides. I'm not doing none of that shit. Listen, this is between y'all and y'all only. I'm an artist just like y'all, so I'm gonna work with y'all like an artist. And tell y'all, calm the shit down. And if I get killed, I'm gonna come back and haunt both of you.
Or it's gonna be like that shitty ass Disney movie where they have a battle of the bands. That's how I'm gonna do it. Like,
Yeah.
our performance is gonna speak for itself.
And then every time, like, bro, I'm gonna make sure you hate your life, bro. I will literally make sure, like, every time you go to look in the mirror, I'm there, so you can't see shit you're doing to yourself. Or every time you going to have that little special time in the bathroom, I'm gonna run and I'm gonna grab the lotion. I'm gonna hide the lotion. You're gonna hate your life. It's gonna make you mad. You might not think it will, but it will. It's gonna make you mad. You're gonna hate your life.
Immediately placed Youngboy's camp in the center of one of the most painful moments in recent hip-hop
No,
history. And
Hunter,
it ignited a
I'm not picking sides, buddy. It's not gonna happen, okay? There's a good reason it's not gonna happen. Listen, man. If I were to get as famous as these two, I would like to enjoy that fame, you know? Fuck beefing with somebody else. I'd rather enjoy his riches.
Or even if you don't have beef with somebody, there's gonna be thousands of comments trying to say shit.
Yep. I mean, it's really just fuck those two, cause you know, y'all are still watching it. That's all I gotta say.
feud between Youngboy and Lil Durk that played out publicly and dangerously for years. They traded diss records. They traded threats spelled out in cash on social media. At one point, Youngboy reportedly got into a physical altercation inside a federal facility because another inmate shouted out Durk's OTF crew. The wound between these two camps never fully healed, even when both sides made gestures toward moving past it. Now here's where Future enters that equation in a way that most people have not fully connected. Future and Lil Durk are part of the same Atlanta ecosystem. They run in overlapping circles. They share industry relationships, mutual associates, and the kind of quiet alignment that exists between major players in the same city who have never had reason to be enemies. When Youngboy looks at Future, he does not just see a rapper from Atlanta. He sees someone embedded in the same network as a man he has unresolved and deeply personal history with. And Youngboy himself confirmed during his social media venting that the problem with Future is not something
he was
he is
asking,
willing
like,
to
would I
spell
take the
out.
lotion because we live in Tennessee? Yes. 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 Okay. It's gonna make you hate your life, bro. This is why I would not pick sides. If I get killed in this war, I'm hunting both sides. Everybody on both sides. I will be the I'm telling you, all they're gonna see in the mirror when they go to brush their teeth, or when they, like, you know what I'm saying, going to floss, or, you know, do that little facial routine, they gonna see me. They gonna do that shit wrong. They gonna see me.
Completely. He said Future does hoe-ass stuff behind the scenes. He said there are things Pluto does privately that he cannot respect. He never named exactly what those things are, but the implication, given the history, is that Future's proximity to people Youngboy has smoked with is at least part of what is driving this. That is the theory the streets have been running with, and it is the most credible explanation anyone has produced.
I'm saying, how does this nigga know so much about this, bro? I gotta start to think. You might be because every time I watch this, he be like, the streets say this, the street, bro, are you?
Bert, because, you know, people post shit, like, all the tweets on that. I know you've seen that shit.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
Are you forgetting people can see this shit, bro?
I think he, and this is my opinion, but I'm still a King Von fan or whatnot. I still think he started that shit. He started it and he reaped what he sowed.
Bro, I think this cord is not even working.
Oh shit.
Because Youngboy's own words point directly at it without ever making it fully explicit. That ambiguity is intentional or instinctive. It is hard to know which with Kentrell. But either way, it has kept fans speculating for weeks, trying to decode what the real root of this is. Youngboy himself acknowledged his own emotional pattern during the Offset conversation. He said the words out loud. He had been letting emotional stuff get to him. He had been crashing out. He admitted that something petty had gotten under his skin and spiraled. The fact that he recognized it did not stop him from doing it again within hours. That cycle, heat, clarity, reverse.
That's what got me, bro. He recognized it. He even apologized for it, and then still went back to, nah, nigga, fuck you. You a bitch ass nigga. Like, bro.
I would do that for you.
Hunter said, LOL, paused, and if you listen to the hoods around here, Chicago, they speak a lot without speaking. Well, yeah. They do really be snitching on themselves. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, in one of Dirk's songs, he snitched on himself, straight up saying, like, got that back in blood. Y'all just don't know that's how it's supposed to be, or damn, something. Brody ass got shot, and we ain't claim him, but I can show his ass. I was like, yeah, that's yeah. Not to say they, like, I don't know, it's artistic expression at the end of the day. Of course, they're trying to use that shit against them in court, but it is kind of snitching on yourself.
Everything I'm saying on this song is all props.
This shit is not real. Knowing good and damn well. Holy shit. Damn, headphones just falling out of my pocket.
Escalation is exactly why people who follow him closely watch these moments with a kind of anxious attention that goes beyond typical hip-hop beef observation, because with Youngboy the fire never fully goes out, it just waits for more fuel. And that brings us to the question everybody was really asking once what started circulating and Doughboy issued his challenge. Not whether this was a beef, not whether Youngboy meant what he said, but whether the situation had already moved beyond what either rapper was publicly acknowledging, because that is where the bodies dropping narrative came from. Once Doughboy,
everybody he done named damn near. Well, except, well, what's her name? KSI, or is it KI?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I know it's not KSI.
No, that's the British dude. He's not the one that said, I got truths of the set that I don't even what? He's not that one, is he?
Nah, that's Central C.
I got truths of the set that I don't even wear.
That's the guy that has a song with Lil Baby where he's like,
oh yeah. We can go butt for butt. We can go imp for imp. We can go imp for imp.
He somehow made the European voice sound cooler than Atlanta voice.
Yeah. We can go imp for imp. Bro, did I ever tell you this? I think Lil Baby looked like a fish, bro. He looked like a fish. We can go imp for imp.
I gotta listen to this song first.
Are you finna play this song? Yeah. We can go bump the bump. We can go imp for imp. He said that's Central C. He's playing it, bro. Ain't no way.
He's decent to be from the UK or whatever. Bro.
He's better than KSI. He's better than KSI. He's better than KSI.
He is, bro.
I got chosen to say that I don't even wear. Bro, we got 7 people in here right now. That's crazy. What up, y'all?
There it is.
We can go back. We can go imp. We can go imp. Oh, back to the topic. Shit. Here, I'm gonna just play the video.
Stepped up and YoungBoy accepted, publicly on Instagram in front of millions of people. Fans who understood the culture around both camps started doing math. YoungBoy is not a theoretical figure. He has real history with real situations that went real bad. Quando Rondo, his close associate, is directly connected to one of the most consequential moments of violence in recent hip-hop. The Free Bands camp has its own reputation and its own loyalties. When two organizations with those kinds of backgrounds end up in public conflict, the fear is never just about the rappers themselves. It is about everything and everyone surrounding them. Fans started speculating that the call-out...
You wanna know something crazy?
Being like diehard,
Yep.
makes shit worse.
I was about to say, that's probably exactly what it is.
Take sides, like, bro.
Like,
yeah.
think about it, bro. This whole video, the dude ain't yet tell us why the fuck they're beefing.
Side, then you like basically a part of the instigation on the internet.
The diss track
Oh, shit.
lyrics,
Didn't
the
even
direct
do that.
challenge between Doughboy and YoungBoy, and the message sent to Atlanta were not just online noise. That somewhere in the background, away from Instagram stories and reaction videos, the situation had already produced consequences that nobody was talking about publicly. That is where the deadly framing took hold. Not from anything either rapper confirmed, but from the weight of what both of their histories implied was possible. Meanwhile, Future said nothing. Not a post, not a story, not
Speaking
a
of which,
cryptic lyric, not a side comment in an interview. Future released The Real Me, watched his album get somewhat overshadowed in the news cycle.
With somebody through music before. I don't think he would start now. He's old as shit.
That makes sense.
He got hella money too. Like
See?
he's role
See?
when he makes music, he's role playing for sure.
Bruh,
Like,
see?
he's not drinking lean and still fucking that mean.
At least, I'm telling you, bro, at least somebody's trying to enjoy that money. Nigga said, fuck all of that. I don't even drink lean anymore. Why would I beef with you?
Bro, he's too old to be doing the shit that he still makes music.
By YoungBoy's meltdown and proceeded to let his music speak while YoungBoy spoke at increasingly high volume about him. Some fans read Future's silence as the behavior of a man who knows his legacy is too secure to take the bait. A rapper who has 10 solo studio albums, who has changed the sonic DNA of an entire generation of hip-hop, who just dropped a Billboard-topping solo project with no features, does not necessarily need to engage with someone who is clearly in an emotional spiral. Others read the silence as calculation, as Future quietly working on something that would say more than any Instagram story ever could. The contrast between the two men's public approaches told its own story. YoungBoy, emotionally raw and moving at the speed of impulse, dropped a diss track, retracted an apology, extended the beef to Free Bands artists, and produced a week of non-stop content for every hip-hop outlet on the internet. Future moved through all of it like the eye of the storm, still unbothered, either because he genuinely did not care or because he understood something YoungBoy's approach.
He said, you know, if YoungBoy and Doughboy made a song together, the title would be called Doughy Young.
Doe Young.
I would call it Young Doe. Young Doe. Or like remember that song that NBA Youngboy and Lil Yachty did? Young Boat? NBA Young Boat? That shit would be fire. That shit was fire. NBA Young Boat.
Does not account for, that sometimes the most powerful statement is the one you do not make. The internet, predictably, could not get enough of either posture. The algorithm rewards emotional escalation, and YoungBoy's behavior across those 48 hours was a perfect engine for it. Every new post was a new piece of content. Every reversal was a new angle. When fans started digging through old interviews and past lyrics trying to trace the origin of YoungBoy's frustration with Future, that created a different kind of content entirely. The kind of forensic analysis that keeps communities engaged for weeks. X was running threads tying the February Verzoos comment to the July explosion. YouTube channels that normally cover both artists' music pivoted entirely to the beef. TikTok was flooded with timelines and breakdowns. The framing...
Come on! Fucking ads.
EVE Online is a vast unit.
They knew what the hell they was doing.
of this situation as deadly was not created by either rapper.
Yep.
It was created by the ecosystem surrounding it. Hip-hop media has learned that nothing drives traffic like the suggestion of real stakes. The next thing. That pattern is well established. Future may understand it better than most, and his non-response might be the most strategically intelligent move in this entire situation. There is also a generational layer to this that nobody has fully addressed out loud. Youngboy is 26 years old. Future is 42. When Youngboy calls him old on a diss track and questions whether he is really street credible, he is not just talking about this one beef. He is participating in a conversation that happens in hip-hop every single generation, where the next wave challenges the assumptions of the one before it. Future built his legacy in an era when mystique and restraint were still viable positions for a major artist to hold. Youngboy came up in an era where constant, unfiltered access to the artist is the product. Those two philosophies are almost incompatible, and this feud puts that tension on full display. Future's response, or deliberate non-response, to that challenge is itself a statement about how he sees his own place in the culture. He does not need to prove himself to a 26-year-old from Baton Rouge. His catalog does that for him. But Youngboy's willingness to make that challenge publicly tells you everything about how he sees himself and how little institutional respect means to him when he is in his feelings. At the end of the day, what the NBA Youngboy and Future situation reveals is something bigger than one feud. It reveals how...
Yeah, it's that niggas don't know how to stop. Let me stop. I'm ranting. I'm really ranting. Still, it's that nigga.
Decided that they wanted him as lean, as vascular, and dehydrated as possible. After this film, this was the whole body type they really went with. You can see he's still incredibly muscular. In fact, Ruffalo's Hulk has more mass on him.
That dude, like, you ever wondered why the Hulk is so fucking bulky in the Avengers movies, but he's like